Hey everyone, how's it going? Today we are going to review the Blush and Coral brand kit. This is the very first brand kit we're creating for the membership, and I'm pretty excited about it. I'm just testing out the waters of this different format, and hopefully it's going to be a big hit, and we'll have more of these brand kits available with different styles for those of you that use it. Now you can use this for your own branding for your business. You can use it as a project board for maybe like a challenge or a course you're developing, or a book you're creating. You can use it for anything. It doesn't really necessarily have to be for a brand exactly. You can just use it for a campaign if you want, a marketing campaign. This is my home base where I start everything, but I'm including a lot of stuff in this kit, so I definitely want to walk you through it so you guys know all the pieces of the puzzle and you know how to use them. So the first thing I started with is this inspiration board, this little mood board. Now you can use this just to serve as inspiration for like a 9 grid you're creating, or as a color palette starting point for any of the projects you're starting. Or you can actually take this image and you can share it on Instagram. And if you want to share it on Instagram, I included all of the credit for I got all these images. I curated all these images from other people's accounts, and I have all of the credit here. So if you do share this image on Instagram, please make sure you copy and paste that into your post. Now, I also included a set of hashtags that I use for my mood boards whenever I share them, just so I can get more eyeballs on my content, and they're all listed here. Same thing, you can just copy and paste these right into your caption from whatever you use to schedule your content. Or you can just stick it in like an Evernote and then save it there and copy if you use your, 2 thumbs to actually post on Instagram. Here is the brand board. This is the full board that I use to get a complete visual of the project. This is, when you download it, it's on a PSD file and a PNG. So you can use the PNG for reference if you want to just upload it to Canva just to look at. You won't be able to make changes in Canva to it. But if you do have Photoshop or the Adobe Creative Cloud suite, you can actually download the PSD file and change the stuff around. So if you love it and want to change this to your own name, or you want to change it to, I don't know, like a challenge that's coming up or whatever you want, you can actually download the PSD file and make those changes. This submark was designed in Illustrator. So in the zip file that I'm going to show you in a minute, there is an Illustrator file, so if you do love this for your own brand, you can download it and you can make those changes so it is your name and your business. The hex codes here for the color palette are right here on the right, so if you need to use them in Canva or on your website, if you'd like to change your website around, whatever you need it for, the RBG, so website hex codes for these colors, are all listed here. So it's a simple like command copy, and then you can paste it in wherever you need it. So this is just a really good visual representation. These are some quote graphics that I designed. So the images that you're seeing here, and it also has some blank graphic templates. When you download it, I will show you how to use those in Canva here. So you're going to click this button and it downloads. If you have a Mac, you can just double click it once you have your zip file, and all of the products are going to be unzipped. If you do not have a Mac, you may need to download software to unzip these files. Now, sometimes people that are not on Macs have problems downloading these files in the zip folders. If you do, just send me an email, info@rosemary-watson.com, and I'm happy to send you just a direct Dropbox link to these products, because if you're a member, you get everything. Also, in this brand kit, I've included the font resources. So these are the 2 fonts that I really love to use for this particular brand. If you don't have these, you can feel free to swap out for anything you love. If you are obsessed with these and you don't have them, here are some resources. There is the actual Baskerville proprietary font. You can download it, and it's a paid app, I think, or a paid font. I think it's like $29. You can get a free version of that. That looks a little bit different, but it's on Google Fonts. This Futura, I think it came, no, this is what I have. I have Adobe Creative Cloud. So I have Photoshop and Illustrator and all of the different apps that Adobe makes. I pay like $50 a month, and I have the Creative Cloud. So I have something called Typekit, and they don't allow you to download those fonts. They only allow you to sync it to your app. So I have it in my own Photoshop, and it's free for me, but it's not really free. It's $50, including in my membership. So if you are loving all of this, you want to start doing more graphic design on your own, and you want a little bit more capabilities than something like Canva has, feel free to sign up for it, and then you can use Typekit and get all these fonts included, in the Typekit app. But if you do not, and you want to just buy your own Futura font, you can absolutely do that. Here's the link to that. And then if you don't like either of those choices, there's a freebie cafe website that will give you just some different options. They're not exact, but they're close. So if you really love that, you can download some of these at this link. And then in Canva as well, I'm going to show you another alternative that's, again, not exact, but it's close and can get you a similar look. Okay, so once you download, you click this button and it goes down to your downloads. Like I said before, it's going to be in a zip file. So I'll just double click the zip file if you're on a Mac, and then it opens up your, it unzips your file and gives you all of the different folders. So the first folder is going to be your identity board. And again, if you do not have Photoshop, this isn't going to be super helpful for you. You can upload this PNG file into Canva or just have it for reference if you'd like, but it's not going to be editable anywhere unless you have the PSD file, and then you can open that up if you do have Photoshop, and then you're welcome to just change out the name. So if this was going to be my actual brand, I can change that, move it over. I can do Command T and resize it if I want it to be a smaller size. If I want to make this font black, I can change all of that if I want to. Now, you can't change the submark here in Photoshop because it is done in Illustrator, and I'll show you how to change that around. And then these icons, those are PNG files that you can use and just drag over to anything you want. So if you like this mood board, but you're like, I don't really love that color, let me see, I love this pink instead. You can go to the layers here on the side. I have them in nice, neat folders. You can go to the color palette. You can open up the palette colors. You can change those fills to whatever you like to make it fit your style if you'd like. And then same thing with the fonts. If you don't love Futura and you want to do something different, maybe you really love Brandon. I use Brandon all the time. So if you like something like that better, you can absolutely use those. If you don't love the graphic templates, you can take those away, and you can drag in any images that really fit this a little bit better for you. So if you have the PSD file, you have Photoshop, this is super customizable. This just gives you a good jumping off point to get started. So feel free to use this however you would like and change it around how it fits for you. The next element in the project download folder is the mood board. So it's the same thing like the identity board. If you don't have Photoshop, the PSD file will not be editable for you. There is a PNG file that you can just pop into Instagram or wherever else you want to share it. And it's just flat, non-editable. But if you do have Photoshop, you can open it up here. And just like before, you are free to change around the images. You can pop in your own images in the masks. So here, it'll show you the different images that are included. And you can pop in whatever you want, curate other images, or maybe you love these images and you just want to change the color palette around. You can come in here to the palette squares. You can say, I don't really love gold, and then you can change out whatever you'd like. So the gold metallic is included, and it's a mask here. And all of the different colors, you just click on the color, the shape, you hit the U button, and you can change the fill out. So these are all my selected colors, or you can pick your own color from this color wheel, and it can be changed back to you to this recently used color. And you can change the color palette to whatever works best for you. The next element is the graphic templates. So I do have these blank PNG files that can be uploaded into Canva, and I'll show you how to use those there in a different video. Here are the PSD files for each of those different things as well. So for me, when I created this brand board, I had a coach in mind. So I just made these little daily affirmation graphics. You can open these up, and you can change both of these to whatever you want. I already have the two fonts uploaded, the Futura font here, the Baskerville font here, and I've showed you what it looks like with the submark. So you, of course, would have to change out that submark if you want to use one, because your name is not Jen Wilson and you are not a coach and a mentor. So you can just hide that if you don't want to use it. And if you have the watermark that you've customized from the Illustrator files, or if you contact me, I can change that around for you if you need help. You can drag that right on in. So you can actually just take that completely out if you'd like, but if you want to see what it looks like, there it is. So if you'd like to change the fonts here, you might say Monday Musings. And you might want to change this to something completely different. Not Today Satan. Or whatever else. You know, whatever you want to say, whatever you want to do, you can change that font as well if you don't like that. This is one of my favorite fonts. So if you like it better that way, feel free. This is just a template to get started. You can also change that bottom shape into whatever color that tickles your fancy. Next in the product download are these icons, and these are just PNG icons. You can upload them directly into Canva, or you can just drag them onto anything in Photoshop. So maybe you want to create your own post on Instagram. You can create a 6x6 square. Maybe you love this brown color. You can drag that in, and maybe you want to use the pencil icon here. You can absolutely do that. Oops. Go there and then just make a graphic with simply this. If that looks good to you, you can do that. Now, if you want to do something where you like that, but you want it to be in white, you can actually hit the M button. You can lasso around. You can go to Edit, define brush preset. That will be your new sample brush. You can delete that layer. You can pour over. You can do a new layer on top. Hit the B button, and if you want that pencil icon but in white, you simply hit the brush on top. So it's really versatile. I really love it, and you can use it, like you can see, in so many different ways, so many variations. And the last element in the product download folder are the Illustrator files. So you can double click on this if you have the Adobe Creative Cloud and you have Adobe Illustrator installed. So this one's a little bit more advanced, and I myself am not very proficient in Illustrator. I use Photoshop for most of my design elements. But this is going to be quick and easy. It's not like a full-on tutorial about how to use Illustrator. It's just to get you by to make the changes to these elements that you may need. So here are the elements. You can click the T button to change the type around. So I could go here, Rosemary, Watson. I can change the font size on that to fit my full name in. I can move it over just a touch, and then I can change the font here if I want it to say branding design, or again, whatever else you would like it to say. You can rotate it a bit to have it fit right in that nice neat circle, and now you have a brand new watermark. So same thing, you can change this around. And if you are, like I said, if you are really intimidated by this, you don't want to open up Illustrator, you've never done it before, you're scared to mess it up, change it, let me know and I can help you customize it. But all of this is, so here you can actually change this little icon as well. You can completely delete that and just make it the pencil. You can have it say your name, from the desk of Rosemary, and customize it however you see fit. Now, once you have everything how you want it to look, you can just select the whole area. So if I want to select that, I would select the watermark only. I would select the logo only, however you want, whatever piece you want to be included. You go to File, Export Selection. You would select the element you want to export. So for me, I want this watermark. You'd export the asset. You'd make sure it's where you want it to go. I like it on the desktop, so I would export the asset. Then you would go and find it on your desktop. It always exports for some reason with the title Asset 3, so you can open it up, but then you can rename it afterwards. So now that I've customized my logo, I can come here, I can rename Watermark. And now it's here for you to drag over and use wherever you need it.